to help safeguard you and your family, especially from the laziest thief looking for the easiest target.
Adam, what you're looking at here is the roadblock on the southernmost edge of this fire. We're about 15 miles south of the Wyoming border, about 10 miles north of the town of Walden. What we do know is that security detail will extend from this end of the mall, Broadway and 16th near the state capitol, all the way to the other end of the mall near Union Station.
Eric, it's always the same thing. They get their belongings packed up. They then leave the boxes for the movers to take from here to there. They then move themselves, in many of these cases, halfway across the country. And by the time they get there, they find their belongings seemingly disappear in transit.
Right, so this is a 30 pack. It sells for about 50 bucks. It's flavored like bacon and molasses, and once it hits a dog's system, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to take effect, and it lasts about 6 to 8 hours. Okay, Maverick, what do you think? Clinton or Trump? Clinton or Trump? Oh, well, there you go.
Oh,
now it's Clinton.
thank you, Russell.
In terms of that tornado touchdown down in Kit Carson, in the town of Kit Carson in Cheyenne County, it may have been a gustnado. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, whom I'm with tonight, says that the spotter may have seen the dust swirling on the ground and the rotation in the clouds, but that still may have been a gustnado. Regardless, wild weather out here. We're live in Burlington. Russell Haythorn, Denver 7.
Despite the university's best efforts to prevent the undies run here at CSU this year, as you can see, those efforts by the administration have failed. There are literally thousands of students out here right now. And they didn't want to talk about the night of the attack either, but they say they are healing both physically and emotionally as police here continue to search for the fourth suspect. And we've all heard about a certain politician's idea to build a wall. Well, now this Change.org group is suggesting the same thing all the way around our square state. Well, not a wall per se, but a limit to the number of people who can move in. The problem is the second they log on, they leave behind a digital trail, and there are hackers in dark rooms like this hot on that trail. The Broncos start getting paid as well. For now, we're live at the stadium with no name. Russell Haythorn, Denver 7. If disease-carrying mosquitoes are the enemy...
Mosquitoes are attracted by CO2, so this is just one of the attractive part of the traps, the other part being the light.
It looks like 80s dorsalis.
Consider these researchers disease-eliminating enforcers.
They'll get sucked through this grate, and there's a little fan here that rotates when it's plugged in.
This team setting out dozens of mosquito traps at Double J Farms lamb feedlot near Ulm. They're also using what's called the Insectizooka to vacuum up and collect engorged mosquitoes.
So we're trying to be prepared of what might be the next Zika virus.
Lead researcher Rebecca Kading is already fairly certain what that will be.
It's possible for them to transmit additional viruses.
She's betting the next outbreak will likely come from Rift Valley fever.
It's at the top of the list of possibilities.
Originating in the Rift Valley of Africa, consider Rift Valley fever, West Nile's uglier, more persistent, much deadlier cousin.
It causes severe disease in people as well as livestock. 10 to 20% mortality in adult cattle, sheep, and goats primarily. Looking at the large feedlots that we have here in the United States, these could serve as potentially really big virus amplification sources.
These traps help researchers understand the kinds of mosquitoes that are on feedlots like this and could lessen the severity of a Rift Valley fever outbreak if it hits.
Learn a lesson from our experiences with West Nile virus and Zika virus.
The mosquito specimens are taken to a lab at Colorado State, separated and tested.
We're trying to gather some important information ahead of time versus after the fact when we're scrambling that there's been an outbreak.
A race against Rift Valley fever.
You have to know your enemy.
While it certainly still has its beauty,
there's a lot of people working, having lunch.
There are also mounting issues on the mall. Like this public intoxication arrest we captured just this afternoon, and this attack caught on camera a few weeks ago, a man wielding a piece of PVC pipe and striking several bystanders.
They're all begging and you know, harassing people for leftovers and stuff like that.
Maggie White has managed Overland Sheepskin and Leather for nearly 20 years now.
I don't think the police can keep up. Our private security can barely keep up.
And there are a growing number of businesses on and near 16th that agree. So this month, the Downtown Denver Partnership will begin using private uniformed security on the mall, saying safety, including the perception of safety, is imperative to creating a successful center city.
My doctor said she got harassed and she's never coming back downtown.
White is hoping that private security can help with the constant battle.
Sometimes they buy, sometimes they steal, sometimes they just want to take a nap in the chair, you know.
The dust moved in a matter of seconds, and then this.
Tornado warning right on us.
At 5:05 p.m., the National Weather Service in Goodland, Kansas, issues this tornado warning polygon for Kit Carson. A spotter observes the tornado.
What do you guys see coming our way? It's a tornado.
Just got a tornado warning. There's a gustnado in this.
Then later on Highway 40 near Cheyenne Wells, watch this. In a matter of 8 seconds, the dust swallows us and the highway.
Look how dark it got. Dude.
This feels like a scene out of The Wizard of Oz. Then, further north near Colby, Kansas, downed power lines shut down I-70. A wild afternoon on the Eastern Plains.
Russell Haythorn takes us inside the world of the party drug turned miracle cure.
It has the party reputation as the euphoric club drug. Popped by scantily clad crowds at raves, concerts, and electronic dance festivals. Its street names are Ecstasy and Molly, and the DEA keeps it closely in its crosshairs in the war on drugs.
Keep going!
But on a much different war front,
people shot up, blown up, whatever, kids get caught in the crossfire as well.
Soldiers and others like Army medic James Casey, who shipped off to Afghanistan when he was just 18, are often returning with severe PTSD and other mental health illnesses.
I just had this really dark side of me.
Casey says he often had trouble controlling his anger, taking it out on his wife, his family, and a few really troubling behavioral incidents with a new puppy.
I would end up choking her until her eyes would roll in the back of her skull. I didn't even realize I had a problem.
Although never violent with people, Casey feared it would come to that, so he sought out treatment for PTSD.
I did nearly every single other treatment for PTSD that the Department of Defense sponsored, and nothing helped.
Then Casey found MDMA-assisted psychotherapy. MDMA is the clinical name for the street drug, ecstasy.
I really had nothing to lose.
The U.S. government banned MDMA in the 80s.
MDMA, like MDA, would cause permanent or long-term brain damage in users.
But recently, a small band of medical researchers, including some in Boulder, have wrangled permission from the U.S. government to try the drug as treatment again, this time administering it to patients suffering from PTSD.
So people are able to look at traumatic memories, the fear is reduced, and then they're able to separate out that it was happening then and not now.
Patients like Casey undergo 3 separate treatments. While lying down on a couch blindfolded, they take the drug and then therapists walk them through their worst fears.
We're saying that MDMA itself is not the medicine, it's MDMA-assisted psychotherapy.
The MDMA was like armor that I put all over my body so I could dive into the darkness of my PTSD and then come back unscathed.
The sessions are grueling, 8 to 10 hours until the drug completely wears off.
Me trying to get better by myself was like I was lost in this cave with no light. The MDMA was like a light, you know, for me to see all throughout this cave, and the therapists were like guides.
For this baby-faced war vet, the illegal street drug has been nothing short of a miracle cure.
It blows every single other treatment for PTSD out the water. It's like a dream come true.
And experts agree. In fact, in phase 2 of the 3-phase clinical trials, research shows an 83% success rate, meaning no recurrence of PTSD after 1 year. That compares to just a 25% success rate in all other forms of treatment.
The study includes war vets, rape victims, and others suffering from PTSD.
I'm grateful that I do have my life back. I do love my wife. I do love my family. I love that little dog that I got.
In Boulder, with photojournalist Jacob Curtis.
What's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. But today I have my life back.
Russell Haythorn, Denver 7.
That's Jenny, the younger daughter.
Flexing memory muscles.
That's McKenna when she was little.
Is a daily routine in the Squire household.
And that's Jenny behind there just cracking up.
Fortunately for them,
that was her with her husband.
Oh.
Hal's dementia hasn't stolen one thing.
Do you remember that day?
Well, sure. I think. It looks like me.
His sense of humor.
That's the day we got married.
Yeah.
Are you going to age with grace?
Alzheimer's now impacts about 5 million Americans.
And as the baby boomers are aging, we're going to see even more of that.
And while there is no known cure, at the Lincoln Center in Fort Collins,
they are looking for ways to treat or cure the symptoms of Alzheimer's.
A possible breakthrough treatment. If all it takes is one song, one composition to bring back 1,000 memories. Consider this.
It takes you back to that place.
A window to the past.
It's been a wonderful program.
It's a past Bill and Rita Bernstein thought was gone forever.
Listening to the music helps to relax me.
For Hal and Sue Squires, it's giving Hal clarity.
In the moment, I believe. And maybe the next day he'll be a little bit more aware and more alive.
Leading Alzheimer's experts are calling this the Be Sharp program.
And it's very powerful to see how we can use music to reawaken.
30 patients and a spouse or family member attending the 5 masterworks of the symphony all this season.
Really just wanted to look at how can we impact our community with music, which we know is extremely powerful for people with dementia.
Patients are also tested before and after the concert.
So if I say 8C4, what would you say?
In cognitive and memory skills in a nearby ballroom.
R4D.
So everything is a trial.
It's that trial that now has researchers at CSU intrigued.
We choose music to help lift our mood.
Dr. Jenny Cross says they're already seeing some surprising results.
What we discovered after the first concert is that the impact on mood happens days before the concert.
Couples are anticipating the symphony and excited about it. The concerts, at the very least, appear to be improving quality of life, not only for the patients, but caregivers as well. A big stride in an effort to control a disease that steals so much.
If we didn't do anything else, we showed 30 couples that this community cares about them.
A night at the symphony.
Yeah, wouldn't miss it.
Bringing back a lifetime of memories.
It enriches your life, music, in every which way.
In Fort Collins, Russell Haythorn, Denver 7.